Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Dani for Dani Tutorials, and today I'm gonna show you guys how to make the Mickey Woody that I promised on my last video. You guys gave me a lot of thumbs up, so show me that you love him as much as I do. So before we start the video, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any other videos that is coming up. It's a lot of cool things coming up, and I have new videos Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays for you. So we are going to start putting this Mickey together. It's not even Halloween yet, and I'm dressing up Mickey, but that's okay. So we're gonna start with his shoes, actually his boots. So we're gonna make a teardrop shape. Then the bottom is not super thin, and you're gonna flat that part that is gonna go the leg up just a little bit like that. And remember that Mickey have really big like hands and feet, so you need to make them bigger than you think than you need to do. Make a little ball, make a hole on the bottom and in the middle, and then you're gonna open with your hands to make the top part flat. We are trying to make that part of the boots then go on your leg, so I think this is the easiest way to make that and open, and then we're gonna place on the rest. I am using the brown, a little goldish, because that was how my customer asked. But if I was going to make it for myself, I will make this shoe a little bit more brown than the gold. But you know, like that's why it's fun to make crafts, because you can create and make exactly the way you want. So I made a little skinny snake and I placed all around the edge to give a pretty finishing. And we're gonna make another skinny snake, and then we're going to place around to give the detail. Cut the excess. It's easier to cut. No, it's not easier, but it's better to cut than to pull off, because then you don't lose the shape. And then just be sure that doesn't have any fingerprints and everything in the way you want. I'm using a little floral wire to start making his legs. Woody has a very skinny leg, and I wanted to put that to transform that and make Mickey legs even a little skinnier than it is. So I am going to use the wire to don't use so much clay, and then I'm gonna use a long wire, then I could put the legs on the same piece and it's just folded, because that's gonna help my Mickey to stand. So try to use the same one, because it's easier to make the skeleton than it's gonna hold all your clay. I am bending a little bit off the left leg just to give a little detail, but you can place in the way you want. And I'm just making a little marks for the jeans and to just give a little life on the leg, since it's so straight. And then when you use a pair of jeans, you always get that fabric folds, and that's what I'm making. And then we're gonna place on the shoe, leaving that a little bit of extra wire to the bottom if you're putting in a styrofoam to let it dry, but it's staying pretty much standing right here. So the feet are so wide apart, then they stand pretty cool, just like that. And now I'm using a little bit of foil just to make his body a little thicker, and don't need to use so much clay so it's super heavy. I can use the foil or the foam, but I think foam makes too much a mess. And then I open a little bit of the blue, and I fold it twice on the bottom, because I want the bottom part of his of his bottom to be a little thicker, but I don't want the part of the belly to be thick. So that's why I folded the clay and to make it. You can see the difference. And I open the yellow as thin as I could before it gets all see-through, and then we're gonna cover to make the shirt. And I'm leaving a little bit of the blue on the bottom. Just smooth it out, cut the excess, and now we're gonna make 2 rows for the arms. I'm opening a little bit of blue and cutting in half the circle. And then we are going to use 1/2 for the front, 1/2 from the back to make the rest of his pants. Put it on place, smooth the edges all around. Leave the side of the excess, and then with the second part, we're gonna cover the back and cut the excess on the side to don't be super thick. I don't worry too much about the yellow on the back because we're gonna cover. Smooth everything and leave his boom boom. Oh, great. Now I made a snake and flattened out, and now I'm cutting little tiny pieces to hold his belt. I made a snake with brown and flattened out just a tiny bit and put it there, and now we're gonna place all the belt holders to finish the pants. Go all around and space them like evenly. Now I made an oval and I'm gonna place right there like for the country belt, and I'm using this little mark just to make another oval mark around it to look like a, you know, those really gigantic belts. So that's what we're gonna try to do, and I'm just putting an M just for the sake of Mickey. Make 2 balls, flatten out, and we're gonna mark the whole side. We are making those little spores. I don't know how the name of that, but like the cowboy boots, little metal thing that goes on the back. That's what we're making. So we're gonna mark the whole side of that little flat ball, just like that. And I'm just gonna go over again to see if I see all the separations. And we're gonna need 2 of those, and I'm gonna put a little circle ball right there in the middle. Looks like a little flower. And now I'm flattening a little bit of the brown again, and I'm gonna place even more details on his shoes now that's a little bit more dry. The same thing to the other side. Let me know, guys, down below if you really want to see like more Mickey and Minnie videos. I guess you guys really enjoyed those, so I can make more for you. I really want to make a Halloween Mickey, so it's coming too, and Goofy, then I promise, is coming as well. I made 2 little balls for the shoes, and now we're putting those 2 metal buckets, I don't know, on the back. I have a lot of learning to do. Cowboys, I don't know those names. What's the name of that, guys? Can you write down below so I learn? So we're gonna set that aside, and with the brown we're going to put that gun holder that every cowboy should have. So I made a teardrop shape and I flattened out, and with any tool that you have, then you can flat, you're gonna just push it down the excess of the clay right there, and it's gonna give that impression of a pocket. Make a squish the top a little bit, put a little ball, and now we are just going to put a snake around to give even more depth on it, to look like you can put your hands through it. Cut the excess off. And then on the back, we're gonna make some cuts to give that fringy style. I make a little metal button and another little tiny circle just to give more details, but you don't need to go crazy with that. And we're gonna place it right on the belt. Now with the white, I am start making his vest. So that's why I said that I didn't need to worry about the yellows be super smooth in the back. And now I'm just gonna curve to see where I need to cut it, and then you're gonna cut that part of the vest in a round shape. Both sides we need to do that. Just cut it, go cutting it slower because it's easier to cut than to add it. So that's how I look. And then I get the excess on the top, squish them down and cut the excess. And I'm using the same tool to smooth it out and push a little bit of the clay to the back, because then when you do that, you already give the impression to have a seam on the vest, and I didn't want to place extra clay on there, so I'm just gonna give the impression and play around with that, both sides and the back. Now with the Sharpie, I am just going to go over and make little spots, like count spots, like a cowboy, and we're gonna go all around. And they need to be dry, guys, to do that, okay? And with another very thin, fine tip pen and red, I am going to make all the stripes on his shirt. Horizontal and vertical. At the back too. And now I'm using a little flower wire, that very skinny one. I made a hole, then goes side to side to make his arms. We made his arms already before, just to give a little time to set down. And I'm pre-making the holes, so when I put it on Mickey, I'm not gonna lose the shape. So I always, if I have the chance, like to pre-make the hole before I put it on the, you know, the piece you're making, so I know that it's not gonna lose the shape and it's gonna look the way you want, and it makes it easier as well. I was thinking, guys, do you want to see Mickey as Buzz Lightyear or Minnie as Jessy? So if you have been watching the video until now, thank you for staying here with me and listening to all those crazy things I have to say. But if you want to, leave me a comment down below if you want to see Minnie as Jessy, or if you want to see Mickey as Buzz, so that you can have the whole collection. We placed the arms on the sides, and now I made a snake and I flattened out for the sleeves. Always try to put because you're gonna cut, so try to put the seams on places that hides better, on the back, on the sides, things like that. Never put the seams on the front, because, you know, we try to hide everything. Just like that. And we're gonna make 2 little balls with the white to start making Mickey's gloves. And we're gonna place on the same place to start getting ready for his hands. Now we're gonna make his hands, make a teardrop shape, flatten out, cut the V to separate the thumb. And I'm not going to worry too much about the other fingers because he has his hand closed on the fist. If you want to see Mickey with different positions of hands, open, things like that, please go to my list of videos. I have tons of Mickey tutorials and different positions, different hands, so you can find one for you. But I cut it anyway, just to give more details and also to show you guys again. Just cut the fingers, cut a little bit extra this time because we're folding it, the fingers again, and you don't want it to look too thick. So when you cut it, it still look like it's the whole hand, but doesn't give that bulky looking. And we are going to put on him. Just like that. And I'm making 2 little buttons. Then I'm gonna paint in after in silver, but after is completely dry. So we're gonna put the buttons, and he has the badge, you know, the sheriff badge, then is a star. I wanna make a badge that is like a Mickey Mouse ears. Why not, right? So 2 little balls and a medium ball, squish them all together, and ta-da, magic happens. There you have your Mickey ears. And I put 2 little dots as a button on the end of the sleeves as well. And actually, guys, I forgot to do it. I made it after the video. You need to make the stripes on the sleeves as well. It's just because it was wet, so I didn't want to wait to give you that, guys, the video. But when it's dry, don't forget to make the stripes on the arms as well. And then with the skin color, we're gonna start making his face. You can use the heart cutter or don't use it at all. My last Mickey video, I think, or Minnie, I think it was the mermaid Minnie, I made the face without the heart cutter at all. So you can watch that as well. But we just need the top part of the face. And I cover any like tons of videos with the ball. If you want to see, I have a video. I'm gonna try to leave the link down below on how to cover the ball. You can cover with the foam, the foil, or any gum paste, Rice Krispies. It's always the same way, and you guys can see that too. And we're gonna start making his face. You gotta roll your fingers up and down, so the middle part is the nose and the mouth, and the 2 side parts is his cheeks, and we're gonna place right in the end of the heart. Push the excess on the bottom just to give, don't have like a straight line right there, to give a little bit more body to his face. And then we are going to mark what the nose is gonna be, just for reference, so I know where the mouth needs to be, where the eyes are going to be. And now I'm gonna use this spoon tool just to open up his mouth. You just cut it and push down, and then be sure that everything is smooth inside. I'm using a piece of red for the inside part of the mouth, just to give the impression that when you're looking inside of him. And then we're gonna use a little pink for his tongue. Make a half moon and place, and then you can hide all the red and already put in place. And mark the center of the tongue. Make 2 ovals in the white for the eyes. Always use a picture as a reference, because his eyes are very particular, close to each other. So always look at the picture, and little tiny smaller ovals than we made with the white with the black. Just like that, and a little ball for his nose. Now we use 2 balls at the same size, flatten out for the ears. Let's then set aside a little bit, and then we're gonna open the gold brownish that I'm using for his hat. It's kind of like a ball with the 2 points in each side, but if you want to make for yourself, you can make the hat the same brown that you're using for the shoes. And then I just use a ruler, and I kind of mark a little tiny hole, just for me to know every inch or 2 centimeters, a little bit less than an inch, just to know, and try to make them to be placed at the same space, because we're gonna put all those the cords that go around the hat. And then you made a skinny snake, and then try to cut them at the same size, just for the sake of making it easier to make them all look the same. And now we are going to place in kind of like in a diagonal shape. Direction, I should say. just like that. We're gonna do all around. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video and if you want to see more Mickeys, because when you guys do that, I kind of know what you want to see. Or leave me a comment to know what you want to see next. I just gonna fold them to the bottom and then make another little whole dot just to give a little finishing in the bottom as well. And now I made a ball and I squished the front to be kind of rounded. And after I put on the hat, you guys gonna see, then I left a little space for the ears. It's kind of like a teardrop shape with marks. You can see just like that. And I am placing a little bit of brown, just like a stripe, to give a finishing and a little bit more details. And now we're gonna see how I want on his face. I want his face to be kind of hiding like Woody does. Then you kind of don't see his forehead. And then before you let your clay dry, be sure then you put it in the position you want. And the two indentations that we left there is where the nose, the ears are going to be. And now I'm gluing the nose in place because now I know how the head's gonna be and the other ear. And he is done. Let him dry. Don't forget to make the stripes on the arms and give a little pinky cheeks for him. I hope you guys like this video. We really love Toy Story here, so it's not, you know, a new thing for the boys here, but it's a Mickey, so it's even more special. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, so you can find me again and maybe see Jessy and the Minnie or any other things you want to see that's fun and something to learn. Thank you so much, guys. Check it out, all the other videos. They have tons of tutorials on the channel that are really cool from Disney as well. And I talk to you on my next video. Bye.